In the Caribbean Sea, a powerful fleet of American warships is closing in on the coast of Venezuela. On the ground, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has answered by activating millions of his militia members. The official reason for all this? A crackdown on drug trafficking. But the hardware on the move suggests a far more dangerous game is about to begin. Is the United States really on the verge of attacking Venezuela? And what would that even mean for the rest of the world? This isn't just another headline. It's a high stakes confrontation that's been building for years, and now it feels like it's about to boil over. To get what's really going on, we need to look at all the pieces on the board: the warships, the militias, the official story, and the hidden motives. And it all starts with a show of force that's impossible to ignore. The United States has kicked off a massive naval deployment, escalating its long-running stare-down with President Nicolas Maduro. At least 3 Ali Burke-class guided missile destroyers are steaming towards waters near Venezuela, and these aren't just any ships. Each one is a floating fortress, armed with dozens of Tomahawk cruise missiles and advanced radar systems that can track just about anything that moves for hundreds of miles. But it doesn't stop there. Joining the destroyers is a full amphibious ready group. This includes assault ships like the USS Iwo Jima and USS Fort Lauderdale, carrying over 4,000 US service members, including a 2,200-strong Marine Expeditionary Force. Let's be clear. You don't send in thousands of Marines to fight drug smugglers. The Marine Corps isn't an anti-narcotics squad. They are a force built for invasion and assault. To top it all off, reports confirm the deployment also features the guided missile cruiser USS Lake Erie and a nuclear-powered fast attack submarine, the USS Newport News. This is a full-blown armada built for overwhelming firepower. While US officials stick to the drug trafficking script, military analysts see a much bigger picture. The White House, now under the second Trump administration, isn't ruling anything out, stating that every element of American power is on the table. The message couldn't be clearer. Washington's patience has run out. Venezuela isn't just sitting back and watching. President Maduro is calling the deployment an illegal act of imperialist aggression and has responded with a dramatic mobilization of his own. In televised addresses, he's vowed to defend Venezuelan sovereignty, announcing the activation of more than 4.5 million members of the Bolivarian National Militia. He's called for these civilian militias to be armed and ready, promising them rifles and missiles to defend every inch of their territory. This isn't just talk. The Venezuelan military is on high alert. Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino announced that Venezuela is deploying its own warships and a significant number of drones to patrol its Caribbean coastline to counter the approaching US fleet. The government has also suspended all drone flights nationwide for 30 days, likely to prevent any potential US surveillance or drone attacks. Beyond its coast, Venezuela is reinforcing its land borders, deploying thousands of troops to its volatile border with Colombia under the banner of Operation Lightning of Catatumbo. Officially, it's about fighting drug traffickers, but it now serves a dual purpose: securing the border against both criminals and foreign armies. Venezuela has even taken its case to the United Nations, demanding a halt to the US deployment, which it calls a serious threat to regional peace. Maduro is signaling that any military move will be met with fierce resistance from both its army and the millions of citizens he's called to arms. So, what's the official reason for this massive military buildup? According to the current administration, it's all part of an expanded counter-narcotics mission. The main target is President Maduro himself, who was indicted by the US Justice Department back in 2020 on charges of narco-terrorism and drug trafficking. US officials accuse Maduro of leading a narco syndicate known as the Cartel de los Soles, or Cartel of the Suns, which they claim is embedded deep within the Venezuelan state. The allegations are incredibly specific: that Maduro personally negotiated multi-ton shipments of cocaine, supplied military-grade weapons to FARC rebels in Colombia, and used cocaine as a weapon to flood the United States. To crank up the pressure, Washington just doubled the reward for information leading to Maduro's arrest to an unprecedented $50 million, making him the first target in the history of the narcotics rewards program to have a bounty that high. US officials have also designated other Venezuelan groups, like the Tren de Aragua gang, as foreign terrorist organizations, linking them to Maduro's regime. The public message is simple: Maduro is a wanted cartel boss, and the US is bringing the full weight of its military to stop him. While the war on drugs provides a convenient justification, many analysts suspect it's a cover for a much deeper geopolitical game. This isn't just about cocaine, it's about oil, ideology, and a long running campaign to oust an inconvenient government in America's own hemisphere. Let's not forget Venezuela sits on the largest proven oil reserves in the world, a massive strategic prize. With the right investment, the country could ramp up production and have a real impact on global energy prices. This military saber rattling is just the latest move in a maximum pressure campaign that already includes crippling economic sanctions and a near total oil embargo. The US hasn't recognized Maduro as the legitimate president for years, choosing instead to back opposition figures. For many, this naval deployment looks like the next logical step in a strategy meant to either break a beat, back Maduro's grip on power, or cripple his regime completely. The timing is also key. This aggressive move throws a military wrench into the complex relationship between the US, Venezuela, and China. China has become a major partner for Venezuela, investing billions in its energy sector. Beijing has loudly condemned the US naval presence, opposing any interference of external forces in Venezuela. By parking warships off Venezuela's coast, the US isn't just taking on Maduro, it's also sending a message to China about its growing influence in a region Washington has long considered its own backyard. The game board is a lot bigger than the Caribbean Sea. Every move here sends ripples across the globe. Despite the intimidating display of military power and the fiery rhetoric, the mood on the ground in Venezuela is complicated. Many ordinary Venezuelans, exhausted by years of political crisis and economic collapse, see this as more political theater than the start of an actual invasion. After all, similar threats have been made before, including a comparable anti-drug op back in 2020. But the current mobilization is having a real effect. The massive militia recruitment and troop deployments are tightening the military's grip on the country. Maduro's government is using the American threat to stoke nationalist pride, holding rallies and calling for unity against an outside enemy. It's a classic playbook for a government struggling with its own legitimacy. Around the world, the US maneuver is deeply divisive. While Washington labels groups like the Cartel de los Soles as terrorists, some of Venezuela's neighbors aren't buying it. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum has said there's no solid proof for the US allegations against Maduro. Other regional players like Brazil are pushing for a diplomatic solution to head off a conflict. Many in Latin America see this as a dangerous precedent. As one analyst put it, they're wondering why the US is making such an aggressive move in its own hemisphere, while trying to style itself as a global peacemaker. They worry that if it's Venezuela today, it could be them tomorrow. This regional anxiety, a wary population at home, and opposition from powers like China create a volatile mix where one wrong move could have catastrophic results. This situation is changing by the hour. A fleet is in position and a nation is armed and waiting. What do you think is the real story here? Is this a legitimate operation to stop drug trafficking, or a pretext for something bigger? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And to stay on top of this and other global hotspots, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. What we're seeing in the Caribbean is a dangerous geopolitical chess match. On one side, a superpower is using its military might to enforce its will, officially fighting a war on drugs, but also chasing strategic goals tied to oil and regional dominance. On the other, a defiant nation is digging in, framing the fight as a defense of its very sovereignty against an empire. The two main players, President Trump and President Maduro, are locked in a standoff, each one escalating their military posture. While most experts don't think a full-blown invasion is imminent, the sheer amount of firepower, destroyers, a submarine, and thousands of Marines makes the situation incredibly fragile. These ships aren't just for show. They can enforce a blockade or launch a devastating first strike. The line between sending a message and starting a war is dangerously thin. As the warships patrol, drones fly overhead, and millions of militia members stand by, the question is simple: will cooler heads prevail, or is the world about to watch a new war ignite?